lawyers are stupid. It's like he's like being nice here. He's like, your lawyers are really stupid. Hunter's laptop was Russian disinformation, which was just retrospectively an insane lie, an unbelievably bold lie. Blake's team filed for a slightly modified type of protection order that would include increased protections to third parties. Now, we covered this filing. I told you that essentially what was buried in it was what I would describe as the Taylor Swift clause.
As TMZ is now reporting, of course witnesses are staying anonymous. They're terrified of threats and bullying. Now this smells like Blake's PR team trying to spin why they're not coming forward.
Who does it benefit when they tell perfectly curated lies to get people really upset, to get the public very upset?
I'm the costume designer on Gossip Girl, but anyone who works with me, I love it. It's like drinking through a fire hose. You're like, wow, I come in and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. But it's just because I really I find that fashion is storytelling. It's a way to message so much more than you can with words. Sometimes it's a silent way to message things. So the way that I come into a character is always through the fashion and through the costumes. So
in another interview, you said that your husband Ryan Reynolds, wrote part of that rooftop scene. Is that true?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I would have to compare it to the original one, but that's 99% his. Yeah, he just added. I mean, Chrissy Hall wrote an incredible screenplay. It was one of the reasons that I wanted to do this film. But also, there are natural tweaks and modifications that come in when the actor is hired, and you're trying to infuse your own personality and your own authenticity. And it's like women are people of multitudes, and I think that it was important to me that it didn't just feel like someone's interpretation of like female gaze. Like it really was, this is what we like, this is what we listen to, this is what makes us feel these vibes. And we had an incredible music supervisor, Season Kent, and one of our editors, Shane Reed, who, fun fact, he was my editor on Taylor's music video that I directed, and I was obsessed with him. And I was like, this guy is amazing, and he never edited a movie before. He just finished Deadpool and Wolverine, and he came on and helped us with this one. And he has incredible taste in music. And we share the same composer as well from Deadpool and Wolverine. So there's a lot of sharing.
Is dumb, and I mean really dumb. She has told on herself so many times, and people digging up old videos.
This is a terrible look for Blake and Ryan Reynolds, but these two seem to be very intent on making every wrong move, in my opinion. Like they truly believe they are too rich and too connected to have to face any responsibility for their lives. Baldoni case, they just sort of take out, smear, and destroy the reputations of people that they don't like, or people perhaps that their clients don't like. But the question is, who do they do that on behalf of?
You guys were the ones out there generating negative press against Justin. You bullies were the ones who were trying to ruin Justin so you could have your way on all the scenes and all the wardrobe and all the control, and you could feel like the producer and the director when you weren't.
Justin Baldoni was hurt financially by what Blake Lively did with the rumors, and including with the New York Times, that he lost money and he lost opportunity. If the judge actually grants that kind of a protection order, the attorneys would become the judge of what exactly could be designated AEO. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Really not done. So to be honest, what really happened is we were like, we're going to show the movie, and the studio was like, no, you're going to show 20 minutes. So we're like, no, we're going to show the movie. And they're like, it's not done. And I was like, sure. They're like, if everything's not perfect and it's not done, and what if we're going to change things? I was like,
we want it to go well.
I literally brought the movie with me on the airplane. I have like a folder, like a disc, like a hard drive.
That's my brother from another mother, and you're messing with my cousin, and I'm pregnant. Let's see up here. Leading the pack of people, because we're psychotic and we're checking your filings every day. And we said, oh, look, yeah, she's filing for more protection to protect, she thinks it's confidential documents. We just read through this. We showed the public that's what you're doing. Distinguish between the two, what a standard court protective order is and what Blake Lively's team is asking for, which is an attorney's eyes only designation. And under your skin, I'm so excited. I'm under their skin. Blake and Ryan.
So, courtroom dramas can sometimes feel like the most intense soap opera, minus the overused theme music. But few expected this recent legal showdown to unfold like a reality TV finale. On one side stood actress Blake Lively, once celebrated for her charm, elegance, and flawless red carpet appearances. On the other, a judge whose tolerance for nonsense ranged from "not today" to "absolutely not."
That is the kindest way that a judge can say to you that your lawyers are stupid. It's like he's like being nice here. He's like, your lawyers are really stupid.
From the moment the hearing began, it was clear this would be more than just a routine legal battle. It was a full-blown spectacle. So, what ignited this extra-large dose of courtroom chaos? At the center of it all were demands for personal data, whispers of hidden secrets, and a meltdown dramatic enough to deserve its own daytime Emmy. They say Hollywood thrives on drama, but this time, Blake Lively seemed determined to take it up a notch, triple shot of espresso style. In a bold move, she demanded what could only be described as the ultimate.
In Blake Lively's case, just slapped down their psychopathic request for 2.5 years worth of every message that Justin Baldoni and Justin Heath and the PR agents have ever sent to everybody, plus location data. We knew that was going to happen.
Imagine getting a text that says, "Hi, I'd like your phone records from the past few years, your medical history, a full breakdown of your grocery store trips, and a list of every show you've binge-watched, preferably with timestamps." Sounds like something straight out of a high-stakes spy thriller, right? Well, according to the grapevine, Blake wanted all of it, who Justin called, when he called them, where he was during each conversation, and possibly even his stance on pineapple pizza. Don't worry, Justin, we're not here to judge your topping choices. Most legal experts took one look at this request and collectively asked, wait, that's not normal, right? Spoiler alert, it's definitely
had modified the request, did not meet those standards, that the request was overly intrusive and disproportionate to the needs of the case. You are not able to hold a logical thought, but guess what? I, as a judge, I am able to hold a logical thought, so we're going to slap that down. You obviously cannot.
People couldn't help but wonder, was Blake trying to piece together the ultimate timeline of incriminating moments, or was she orchestrating the world's most complicated trust fall exercise? Whatever her endgame, the courtroom's temperature shot up about 10 degrees the moment that document request hit the judge's desk. Now, before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe, because, let's be real, I'm nothing without your support. Alright, back to the tea. If you're thinking the judge might have reacted with mild curiosity, think again. Judge Lyman's response was more like someone who just realized they were double charged for their morning latte. Calm, stern, and absolutely dripping with "you've got to be kidding me" energy. His words sliced through the air like an A-list celebrity dodging paparazzi. In essence, he told Blake's legal team that their request was so wildly disproportionate, it made the
felt that the subpoenas of the Wayfarer party's phone records, even as Blake Lively had modified the request, did not meet those.
The sharpest legal minds in Hollywood reportedly watched this unfold in real time, eyes bulging like cartoon characters. The judge made it crystal clear, any personal data from before the alleged smear campaign wasn't just irrelevant, it was about as necessary as wearing fuzzy slippers to a triathlon.
Has narrowed her request to exclude the content of calls or messages. The phone records themselves will still contain sensitive information regarding doctors, psychologists, or even acquaintances. But according to Lively's own complaint, this negative campaign did not begin until August of 2024. And then he cites her own filings and says, ma'am, you filed a lawsuit saying, quotes, that the beginning of the plan to destroy Lively's reputation began in August of 2024. Now you're requesting to see everything dating back from 2022. He writes, it is therefore unclear how communications to and from Wayfarer parties in 2022 would reveal individuals who participated in the campaign.
The real slam dunk came when the judge called the strategy overly intrusive and alarmingly incompetent. Ouch. If his words had a sound effect, it would have been a sad trombone playing in the background. By the time he finished his decree, half the courtroom was squirming from secondhand embarrassment, while the other half seemed
The subpoenas requested all documents concerning ingoing and outgoing calls or text messages related to telephone numbers belonging to Wayfarer parties and related individuals. They moved to squash it, and they said because what you're asking for is, quote, overly broad and invasive. So the court then ordered that they both meet and say, come back with something logical that you can agree.
Easy to brush this off as just another dose of standard celebrity drama, but according to those who witnessed it, Blake Lively's meltdown was less diva moment and more Zen yoga instructor suddenly flipping a table. The second the judge dismissed her demands, Blake reportedly went from zero to meltdown faster than a tub of ice cream in a microwave. She glanced from her lawyers to the judge and back again, eyes wider than a deer in headlights, if that deer also happened to be wearing glitter eyeliner. By now, you're probably wondering, why would a beloved actress risk a courtroom meltdown over some phone records? Well,
We just read through this. We showed the public that's what you're doing. So I don't understand why I got name checked here. And then just to say, predictably, the media outlets picked up the same narrative. They're like, they got me out here looking like Regina George when she cuts her.
Between relentless paparazzi ambushes, non-stop industry gossip, and what seems like an allergy to negative press, Blake might have seen this court case as her chance to make a statement, like taking aim at the rumor mill with a legal t-shirt cannon. Some point to past controversies, like intrusive tabloids snapping photos of her family at wildly inconvenient times. Others mention the swirling speculation about backroom deals and eyebrow-raising casting favoritism that kept her name spinning in the rumor blender. Now, throw in a massive fallout with Justin Baldoni, and voila, you've got the kind of
Sure what argument they're making, because I'm not sure what argument they're ever making, because their entire lawsuit is just filled with contradictions.
So when the meltdown happened, it felt like the inevitable boiling point of months, maybe even years, of pent-up frustration. Maybe Blake had convinced herself that rifling through Baldoni's personal records would uncover the ultimate big bad behind her troubles. Or perhaps the mounting pressure simply became too much to bear. Either way, her outburst flung open a Pandora's box of speculation, with each theory more outlandish than the last. And let's be real, when Hollywood latches onto a rumor, it doesn't just run with it, it straps on a rocket pack and aims straight for the moon.
Plays at this Forbes Women's Summit about how she likes to come in essentially like a Trojan horse and take over a project.
Completely exposes herself. Her secret plan is to always take control of the movies and lie to the director.
One rumor claimed Blake was scrambling to shut down a hush-hush expose. Supposedly, Baldoni was sitting on a cinematic bombshell that would have tabloids squealing louder than a tween at a boy band concert. Another theory suggested she was facing blackmail threats and believed the smoking gun was buried somewhere in Baldoni's group chats or location logs, from, like, 3 summers ago.
Started this lawsuit, and you said that this campaign began in August 2024, and now you're suddenly asking me to see text messages dating back to 2022. You are not able to hold a logical.
Meanwhile, social media turned into a full-on circus. Half the tweets insisted Blake was just defending herself, while the other half accused her of crossing the line, basically trying to turn herself into a day-in-the-life tracker on Baldoni's phone. The tabloids, of course, had a field day, hinting that Blake's meltdown was proof she was on some dramatic downward spiral. Because, apparently, in Hollywood, a single bad day means you're either exhausted.
Acting like gangsters. He sounds like a gangster when he's talking, right? He has no respect for Baldoni, no respect for the process, and basically is saying everyone online needs to shut up. And we're not exactly shutting up, and we are following all of this. And obviously, if you are Brian Friedman and you see that this has leaked, you're like, yes, this is exactly what we need.
All jokes aside, many in Hollywood found themselves wondering about the bigger picture. Could this fiasco set a precedent where A-listers start subpoenaing your last 50 Uber receipts every time a rumor spirals out of control? I guess we'll find out soon enough. One thing's for sure, the judge's rejection of Blake's demands hit her legal team like a confetti cannon at a toddler's birthday party, loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. Overnight, headlines declared the whole strategy a flop, a fiasco, or, worst of all, cringe. Meanwhile, fans flooded social media, debating whether Blake was just protecting her name or had completely gone off the rails. Some particularly dramatic folks even compared it to the sinking of the Titanic, which might be a bit of an exaggeration, but hey, hyperbole is the internet's love language. On Justin Baldoni's side, nothing but radio silence and carefully curated statements. No witty jabs, no fiery tirades, just a calm, "I'm good, thanks." Obviously, this only fanned the rumor flames. Is he just kicking back with popcorn, watching the chaos unfold? Or is there a behind-the-scenes chess match brewing, complete with rooks, pawns, and a carefully planned checkmate? From a career perspective, the real question is whether this meltdown will leave a lasting dent in Blake's reputation. Hollywood is the land of second chances, but also the land of short attention spans. One day, you're the belle of the ball, the next, people are side-eyeing you for demanding phone logs that read like a NASA mission report. The dust is still settling, but will Blake smooth things over with a heartfelt interview about her next big movie? Or is another legal maneuver on the horizon? Let's just hope it doesn't involve combing through more phone records and grocery receipts. In the end, this whole spectacle reminds us that even the most glamorous celebrities aren't immune to chaotic courtroom drama. Blake Lively just had a meltdown so intense, it made the rest of us feel a little better about losing our cool when the Wi-Fi lags. Meanwhile, Judge Lyman's firm stance was a reality check, reminding everyone that bad vibes alone don't justify digging through someone's entire digital footprint. For those of us watching from the cheap seats, munching metaphorical popcorn, there's a serious question to consider: how far is too far when it comes to protecting a public image? At what point do even the biggest stars realize that privacy is a two-way street, best navigated with caution and, preferably, without turning into a human surveillance drone? Right now, nobody knows if Blake is gearing up for round 2 in the legal ring or if this meltdown was her curtain call. Will she retreat to calmer waters, letting the tabloids chase their next shiny scandal? Or is she already strategizing a comeback, one that won't end in another courtroom facepalm courtesy of Judge Lyman? The tension is enough to keep any TMZ junkie hovering over the refresh button. But if there's one thing we've learned, it's that in Hollywood, never say never. Because when the plot twists keep coming faster than Fast and Furious sequels, you can bet the drama is far from over. And there you have it, a slice of Tinseltown pie, baked with scandal, frosted with drama, and sprinkled with just enough humor to remind us all that sometimes, you've just got to laugh at the absurdity of it all. So what do you think about this wild courtroom showdown? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that notification bell for more updates on your favorite celeb drama. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed.